Down in the depths, there is a cold beyond cold, an icy liquid chill that surrounds you, embraces you, pierces every inch of your naked gooseflesh skin with its needling touch and gets inside your bones. The marrow frozen into nothing but agony. The shivers that rack your body are so intense that when you stretch your arms or kick your legs to swim, their movements are wild, uncontrolled, pushing you through the water in shuddering bursts. Water? Yes, you remember. The darkness around you, the forever of it all. Sometimes you forget just what it is that keeps you gripped so tight, suspended in place above nothing. But the thought comes to you quick enough when your lungs begin to burn. When did you last breathe? How much longer can you hold out? You consider for a moment opening yourself, simply letting it in, drowning. What are you so afraid of? But you know there is no release in it. You have been drowning as long as you can remember, and to invite the impossible cold into yourself, through your lungs and into your core, will bring no end to it, no relief. So you hold on. You hold out as long as you can, ignoring the agony, straining against the pressing darkness that has consumed you, and that implores you to consume it in return. There is air above you. You know that. Far, far above is the surface, the inky stillness of that silent barrier between water and sky, motionless as black glass, an obsidian expanse that stretches away. You could break that stillness, shatter its peace as you emerge, clawing, spluttering into the air. But the idea repels you. Your heart seizes at the thought and your blood shoots through with a cold that has nothing to do with the water. Why does your mind recoil and beg you to stay down, to hold fast in the darkness, to simply keep drowning? Just swim. That's the key. Pick a direction and swim until you find something. Someone. Land, perhaps. Or just another who is suffering as you are. Were you doing that already? Which way have you been going? The shivers that pass convulsively through your body make it so hard to tell for sure, and no light will condescend to reach down here. But still you press on, try to keep moving through the pain, through the fear that attempts to paralyze you, to lock you in place as surely as the water that presses all around. How long have you been moving now? Seconds? Years? Your lungs still burn and beg you to succumb. Something moves, something deep and old and larger than your frost-bitten imagination can conceive. You cannot see it. You cannot hear it, but you feel it. The water shifts and pushes against you, spinning you around and tearing apart your thin idea of up and down. It is coming closer, its smooth motion relentless as an iron bell tolling in the silence. It is close. Closer. It is here. You can feel its titanic bulk moving past, just below you, or perhaps above. It almost brushes against you and, despite the pressure of the water all around you, you cannot fight the frantic instinct to run. Your legs begin to move, flailing, and where your feet press against it you feel its skin, rough and leathery, strangely almost dry despite the ocean through which it moves, and sharp enough that you feel it tear through the soft flesh on the soles of your feet. There is no pain, simply a wave of sickened nausea that passes up through your legs and into your stomach. You keep moving, limbs splaying in that strange pseudo-run, moving along it and begging for this thing to end. Sometimes your feet do not land upon its skin, but press on something else. Something smooth and hard that feels like bone or tooth. And then it is gone. Passed away from you and out into the expanse of dark and quiet cold. You cannot stay down here. The darkness hides terrible things and your whole chest screams for air. You take a moment and focus. Concentrate on the feeling of the water around you. The gentle pull that promises to be down. And then you begin to swim, a desperate crawl up through the black towards the vague hope of a surface. You do not know how long you have been swimming, how far you have climbed. But when you thrust your hand forward, you feel something change. It is a sudden release, a weightless freedom that seems so alien to you now. A new panic begins to overtake you, but it is too late, as your whole body rips through the unbroken surface of the sea and into open air. You feel dark water explode from your throat in something that is half screaming, half disgorging foul and icy liquid. And you take a breath. The air burns. Perhaps a new feeling, or perhaps one long forgotten. And you open your eyes. There is nothing. You look around you, neck twisting violently, trying to take it all in. But the ocean that stretches away is smooth against the reddened sky, unchanging. There is nothing else. No boat to save you, no land to make your escape, not even another lost soul who shares your torments. Deep down, in the icy depths, you could imagine, you could hope. The darkness hides terrible things, but it could also hide salvation. You cannot know what is down there, but up here, it is laid out in such terrible, stark detail that there is nothing. You only know you are crying because the water on your face is warm enough that it feels like fire upon your cheek. And beyond that, up in the sky you feel it, looking down on you in something approaching delight, drinking in your despair and bitter dread, enjoying your misery and terror as you cast about for something that might be hope. It disgusts you. The waves of smug satisfaction that pervade your being as it stares at you. You cannot bear for it to see you like this. It makes you want to scream, but you know your screams are exactly what it wants. You choke it down and slip once again below the surface, into the concealing darkness of the freezing waters below, and you leave behind the nothing that waits above. Well, not quite nothing. Not for me.